I just got some silver in from Navarro Rings. Apparently he's been making these silver bars and rounds. On his TikTok live, he's been making these, I guess. And people have been like, oh, I've been watching him make your stuff. So, bought these a month ago. They're finally here. Let's open them up. I also have a mezuzah that I'm going to put on my door. Not because I'm a good Jew. Because if you break in here, motherfucker, now it's a hate crime. Don't fuck with me, I'm nuts. Oh, cool. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, I like these sealed in plastic like ecstasy pills. I wouldn't know anything about that. So we got 1 ounce bars, 2.5 ounce numbered bars, a whole mess of Pawn Man minis. Actually, this is my best margin right here, these minis. And I got more Stars of David. These were not a good seller. I was surprised. I thought I'd sell out of these because I got these like around Hanukkah and shit for them. But plenty of Pawn Man 1 ouncers, these 2.5 ounce bars. Boy, ain't that a thing of beauty though. Got it all laid out here. Got these Pawn Man 2.5 ouncers, the skulls. He did miss one. I guess he was making this live, but he's sending it out to me. Got these Stars of David, these 1 ounce bars, and then these minis as well. Apparently he can't put my logo on the minis. It's too small. I could have sworn he'd done it earlier, but whatever. Don't matter. It's cool to have these minis. They sell well. So here's my Pawn Man bullion. Brought to you by Navarro Rings. Navarro Rings. There's quality in the title. You just gotta look really hard. Like, you can't see the spelling of it, but it's there. Trust me, it's there. So it's the next day, I talked to Navarro. I'm gonna send these back and he's gonna remake them. We just had a miscommunication because I want these to say Pawn Man. I mean, these are cool, but these are harder to sell. When they say Pawn Man, they sell like hotcakes. I'd rather do that. Especially because, and this is what I gotta make a TikTok about this morning, I don't make a lot of money on these. These are expensive to have made. I mean, when you buy an art pour, you're not just buying raw silver, you're buying something that somebody took time to make. It's got an artistic design, it's a limited run. It's art pour, it's in the name. Like, you are paying for quality over quantity. That's why it's very expensive, and I reasonably can't charge much more. I have to make some money on it, so like people are like getting really pissy about my prices. Like, well, I'm not getting it at spot. My God, I think I'm paying $35 an ounce on this stuff when spot right now is 22.
So it's just a whole mishmash of stuff. And you may or may not be interested in it.
Chances are I'll make an offer on pretty much anything. There's a few items I don't buy. I don't do guns. I can't do ivory because of laws. I can't do stamps because I'm just not interested in it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like even costume stuff I'll buy.
Any commentary on this I'd be interested in hearing too.
Yeah, I think it's Japanese.
Okay.
Traditional style, I think probably 1950s.
Okay.
Kind of out of style. The thing with pearls is they used to be so expensive and then they fell out of style and they haven't really come back in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can tell this is not ivory, it's a copy because there's these weird bubbles here. So I can buy this.
All right.
Makeup.
Oh.
Okay, so the costume stuff, not terribly valuable.
Okay.
As far as gold goes, this watch here, this case is gold, but none of the rest of it. Mm-hmm. So for something like that, I generally have to guess unless you want me to smash it apart, which probably don't want me to do. And then same story with this, just this shell here is gonna be gold. I would be a buyer of all this stuff, including all the costume, all the gold stuff at $1,200.
Works for me.
Okay, yeah, and this is a lot of work. But I've been worried that my jewelry person is gonna run out of stuff to do. So this takes care of my problem for me. Okay, cool. That was my largest costume buy that I've probably ever done, but there was some gold that we bought too. So let's quickly kind of go over this. And when I say quickly, I mean it's really hard to estimate what I'm gonna make because most of that was costume. So these are gold-filled / gold watches. They work. I'm gonna probably just keep these and put these on eBay because I might be able to get like $200-300 each on these. They're collectible. And a couple of them work and they're vintage from like the 1920s. This key fob is super collectible. It's gold filled. Again, might be able to get like $100 on that. This one I got to crack open. One of these turned out to be 14 karat gold. I thought it was filled. So, oops. And then this is all 925 stuff. I'm probably not gonna melt most of this down. This is all scrap gold. This ring, I'm gonna blowtorch in a minute here. Boxes of costume and like pretty good costume. Ballpark estimate, I'll double my money. I also have a very attractive zit right here today. So yeah, pretty good. But the thing is though, That shit is not gonna sell fast. That costume, I might sit on most of that for like a year. So you might think, oh, you're gonna double your money. You ripped them off. Well, I have to pay somebody to list it, and it's not gonna sell overnight. So no, I would say I was pretty fair. I'm gonna quickly blowtorch this little ring here, because it's like, I mean, this gem is shit too, but it's better than nothing. So let's melt this guy down. Fucking damn it. Ugh. You shut the fuck up. Like nothing even smoked. It fucking keeps doing that. It's so fucking annoying. All right. Huh. You guys remember how big that ring was versus what's left? It just goes to show you the fluff of gold. Just been sitting like this for like 30 minutes maybe. I have a lot to do. And I'm so tired. It's Friday, and like this whole week I've just been completely fucking out of it, and oh my god, I'm so tired today, and I don't feel like doing anything, and I've barely filmed any content all week. I'm like trying to think of something clever and witty to say. That's how tired I am. I'm just like, I gotta film a bunch of shit in advance. This has been my laziest week of filming. Probably since I started making content. I think I've made like 5 TikToks this week. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just so burnt out. Speaking of burning things, ovens, Holocaust. Guess what I got? That livened me up a little bit. Also, you guys, I am kidding about the 8 out of 8. Don't actually rate me 8 out of 8. I'm in a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood. Somebody did that, and it was funny. I thought it was funny, but then my employee was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're gonna get us canceled. Like, this is gonna hurt our business. So I had to have the person retract it. So, I am kidding. Check this out, though. Evan opens the mail. So, I am done buying this shit. And we're gonna talk about this in the coming weeks. I am gonna do a Pawn Man all about these. My researcher has been at this for almost 2 months now because this is not an easy topic to research. Like, we keep pushing it off because he wants to do it justice, and I want him to do it justice because this is going to be my most expensive. God, look how tired I am. This is gonna be my most expensive segment I have filmed, because you guys realize when I cover stuff, I generally buy the shit that I'm covering. But this here, dear viewer, it's the last one that I'm buying. So I bought this because this is the highest graded one known. It's a specimen 67. I have not seen any 68s at all on these Third Reich medals. They're all, the highest knowns are 67. So this is blood and soil. This was their kind of their saying. They were, especially Himmler was like really into like, the people, the farming people who, Lebensraum, yeah, speaks for itself. But this is in incredible shape. I paid $500 for this piece, and I may keep this one. I may. I'll talk about this more when we get into the segment. I do think I am gonna sell all of them. I've now paid for them outright because I bought them on credit. I paid it off. I honestly think they're cursed. Because bad shit has happened to me ever since I started buying these. And some of it's just me being a dumbass, but some of it is kind of uncanny. I've had some like really unlucky bad shit happen to me ever since I started buying these fucking Nazi medals. So I think for that reason, it's time to get rid of them. I'm going to sell them this summer. You guys might remember, well, almost a year ago now, I got in trouble on eBay. I was selling Playboy magazines, and they recategorized it as pornography, and I got, god damn, they kicked my account off for 2 weeks. I lost, like, my eBay got shut down. I can't imagine how much money it cost me. So it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna just blow all of them out. And I had somebody interested about 3 months ago. They bought everything I had for, I think it was like a break-even price. It was like 160 bucks. But there was a lot missing to the order. They're like, well, wait a minute. I thought there was a bunch of sealed ones from the 60s and 70s. That's why I bought it. I looked downstairs, I couldn't find them because it was caster wheel hell. But I just looked down there again, and I did just find them. So what I'm doing, I'm just sending them out for free. I'm running legitimate business practices here, and I feel that's just the right thing to do, is to let them know what happened and just ship it out and complete the order rather than go mulligan. Yeah, the only illegitimate practice I have is the slave labor downstairs, but that's neither here nor there. They can't voice their concern. You can't even hear them. Because I keep gag balls on all of them. That's what you gotta do. But he is getting a good deal here, because these are, you know, shit, I could easily ask 20, 30 bucks each on these. They're sealed, but I don't want to fuck with it. It's not worth getting in trouble on eBay and losing all that money. Okay, so some sterling silver jewelry.
And then I've got a bunch here as well.
I don't see any markings. This one I'll put acid on.
Okay.
Okay, so that is not good.
Okay.
You can even hear it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't think it was because it's not stamped, but I just wanted to be sure. This one didn't react, so I'm gonna assume that's silver.
Okay.
I could offer you $165 for everything.
Okay.
Okay, and that deal, that's a quick double up of my money. Most of that jewelry I'm gonna keep. I mean, those tiny little necklaces that I just pay metal price for, I get like 10, 15 bucks on those. This coin I overpaid on, but that's how you do this. You overpay on some stuff and underpay on the better stuff. This is going in for a mystery box. Overall, yeah, nice way to start the day, make 150 bucks. How about this last week? It works. This is a vintage 1960s Indian motorcycle company garage clock, like, you know, it hangs up in your garage. Very cool vintage antique. I got 300 into it. I sold it on eBay for 450. After eBay's rat fuckery, I'm at 392, so I'm gonna package this up. But let's briefly talk about the Indian Motorcycle Company. What started as a bicycle company in 1897 under the name Hendy after the founder, the Indian Motorcycle Company is one of the most famous American motorcycle companies. Its first factory opened in 1901, but in 1897 it was founded 6 years before Harley-Davidson. The founders stole parts from mills and engine factories so that they could build a bicycle that was self-propellant, that one didn't have to pedal. They came up with the slogan, the freedom to go anywhere. The Indian Motorcycle Company is the reason why we have Sturgis Festival in South Dakota, which I almost went to. I was gonna go to South Dakota the week of Sturgis without realizing and planning it in 2020, and then, you know, COVID, and I was like, oh, that's not a place I want to go. In 1914, the company solidified its reputation forever. A sponsored racer rode in 11 days, 12 hours, and 10 minutes from San Diego to the East Coast. He didn't break down, he didn't have any spare parts, he just got on his bike and he did it. He didn't even have anybody trailing behind him. He was that far ahead. After that, the US government started looking into motorcycles for military purposes. In World War I and II, they used the Indian Motorcycle Company for military vehicles. Motorcycles were very effective, especially in World War II. Today, the Indian Motorcycle Company is owned by Polaris. They are a shadow of their former selves. They mainly make I think they still make motorcycles, but it's mostly like novelty kind of stuff about the brand name itself. That's what generates the money. But it is a truly uniquely American story and motorcycle company. Indian motorcycle stuff is really collectible and expensive. The bikes are themselves. Admittedly, I know next to nothing about motorcycles. So if one rode in here, maybe if the price was right, I'd be interested in it. But as of right now, it's just totally not my area. But this clock is cool, and I'm gonna package it up. Really quick, you guys, before I get into the questions, I am going to be selling advertising plugs for episode 50 of Pawn Man. That's not the next episode. The one following, the episode itself. $25 a spot. I'm going to be selling just a few spots. I've already sold 2. And for the whole monologue, 120 bucks. And I will sit here like this, I'll do the monologue, whatever your shirt is, whatever you're selling. Tell me what you're selling, but like, you know, if you have an OnlyFans, if you own a strip club, I don't care. If you just want to promote your social media, you want to send me a shirt with your handle on it, whatever you want for a plug, $25 for a basic plug. I'll do a little thing, you know, maybe a deal or whatever, wearing your shirt, or I'll do like an informative thing, and then 120 for me to do the whole monologue wearing your logo, whatever it is. So let me know, I got a few of those slots left. DM me, Discord, Instagram, kind of like where I do everything else. And I just want to say, leap on it now, because if it goes well, I'm going to increase the prices. And these do live forever. That's the joy with this versus like a TikTok. My old TikToks, you know, I've been recording TikToks for almost 2 years. Nobody watches the old ones, because you got to go way back. The algorithm isn't going to promote one that's 2 years old. But these YouTube videos, people are rewatching them. So, you know, the ad kind of does live forever, like I said. Let me know if you guys want one, and hopefully this goes well. It's something that's gonna really help me a lot too, because I'm trying to get more sponsorship deals, and thus far, somebody's like, God, you're giving them a lot of free advertising. All they do is send me testing equipment. I don't want free stuff, I need to generate revenue, so like, this is the only person I'm doing this with. But like goldandsilvertesting.com, just ask them how much I have done for them just by like featuring their stuff. To the questions! What's going on, you guys? We're Between the Pawn. I'm Evan, and I own a gold and silver business. How has my week been? Fuck, more like, how's next week gonna go? I just found out, so my one guy's going on vacation for a week. My jewelry person is also gonna be gone all next week, so I'm gonna be by myself, which if you're watching this, this is coming out Thursday, the week of what I'm describing, so it's, you know, how's it been? I'll let you know, but I'll be fucking busy next week. The good news is, I guess I don't have to pay for labor next week, so that'll be kind of nice, because I'm going to be taking a trip to Portland in July. I'm going to be doing a joint video with local coin companies, so that would be exciting. But anyway, so this week, we went out, I took us out for a company meeting, like a company dinner. We shut down early, and I took my 2 people out. And like, just going over it, it is going really well here. And everything turned around in March.
shall we say. It was not apparent to me that things were not going terribly well. I mean, they were going well, but I didn't realize that I had something that was not working out well at all, and it was actually costing me quite a lot of money. And that situation corrected itself. This is all we're gonna say about it. And the correction now, we're almost 3 months out from that being corrected. The store has changed. The store is making way more money. I'm spending less money. I'm way less stressed out. Like, everything is going so well, and the fruition of my new jewelry person coming to, like, you know, what she's doing for this business is really shining. Like, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to take them out. They're both like, you don't need to take us out. This isn't necessary. I'm like, oh no, yes I do. You guys are working very hard for me, and this is going well. So just seeing everything now correcting and really taking form, because like, the way it's been, you know, I've been talking about borrowing money. I borrow money from followers, I pay them back, and at the end of it, I have no more money, but I have more inventory. And right now, I have more inventory, and I have enough money to pay both of the people who lent me money back, like tomorrow, and I'd still have a couple thousand left over. So it's going well. I'm very, very, very pleased. Second thing I want to talk about, you guys, I have a merch store. I do talk about this a lot. I get a lot of people messaging me wanting to buy merch straight from me. And like, there's a Linktree link, merch store. You can even buy it here on YouTube. It's all linked up. The merchandise does help me a lot. It's through Spreadshirt. So that is a great way to help me get buttons, mugs, apparel, clothes, all that stuff. I think it's all the way through size 4XL. Check it out. I got men's and women's, and there's like a couple of my jokes I made into t-shirts. Next thing I want to talk about, it's driving me crazy. I should have known this was gonna happen, but I'm like actually getting frustrated with people's lack of common sense in this. Okay, so I've been posting a lot on Reels because TikTok has been fucking with me enough times where I'm seeing the reach that Reels has, and I've never posted on Instagram Reels before. Until TikTok shut me down again, like, what was it, like a month and a half ago now? Most of what I'm posting on Instagram Reels, you guys, they are reposts from TikTok that are months and months old. I'm getting bombarded with messages, people wanting to buy stuff from old TikTok, or from Reels that I posted or old TikToks, and it's like, I don't have that. I had that a year ago. I'm just reposting it because I'm not gonna refilm all my content. That's crazy. So just know if you see it on Reels, it's probably an old TikTok. Probably, not always. Another reason for that, there's a lot more work involved in making a Reel than there is in a TikTok. It's just the interface is more nitty gritty. It's easier to make a TikTok than it is a Reel. So that's why I do that. Another reason why I do that. I had something kind of random happen recently. I've been meaning to make a TikTok about this. I don't know, for some reason I haven't made a TikTok. So there's this young guy, he's been coming in here. He comes in, he says, I donate plasma. I need to put the money somewhere. I want to invest it somewhere. I have $400. It's about a month's worth of donating. So you want to pump blood out of your body and put silver in? Okay. I saw him this week again. This is the second time I've seen him. He's just taking all the money he donates from plasma and putting it into silver. God bless him. I just thought that was cool. The other thing I want to talk about before I get into the questions, you guys have seen this comment, I'm sure, again and again. This is my friend Mike. You can watch us going, I think it was like right before I made Pawn Man, or like right when the first episode or two came out. We took a road trip to Michigan, and like I made a 3-part YouTube video on it. So he's been writing what I thought was, oof daddy, and every time I'd see that, I thought that was him writing like, oof daddy. Just being provocative. I just found out from him it means OnlyFans daddy. So I'm a boomer. I just thought that was very funny. I thought it meant one thing, it doesn't. I don't have an OnlyFans yet, because I'm not that desperate yet. All right, with that, you guys, let's get into the questions. Question 1, coming in from Naval Guns. What are your thoughts on loose gemstone trade as far as investing and resale value? I would say, apparently you can make money on gemstones. I've heard if you know what you're doing. Let's put it this way. I don't fuck with that. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. I don't have a GIA. I will never get one. I have people who work for me who do this kind of thing. I'm busy enough learning and mastering coins. That's my area of focus, really, is coins and banknotes. Yeah, not gemstones. It's just, there's a lot of rat fuckery. And the simple fact is, I can run this business totally effectively just fine, knowing what I know. Being able to just not pay on gemstones and tell somebody, well, it's not really worth anything. I'm not gonna pay up. I'm not gonna pay up for it. Oh, you have a 4-carat emerald with an appraisal of $8,000? Go up the street. I don't wanna buy it. So I just don't think gemstones are a good investment at all. Just look at De Beers and how they control the diamond supply and what a false investment they've created. The gem trade is awful. There's so much corruption and misery and suffering. I'm not just talking about the diamond trade, the gemstone trade in general. I don't think there's much investing to be had with gemstones, and you gotta be careful and know what you're doing. There's too many ways you can get burned on it. Lab-grown fakes are really good. I can kind of tell them apart, but not always, so just keep that in mind too. Question 2 coming in from Zach. Zach says, seeing as it is the Queen's 70th Jubilee, thought I'd ask your opinion on the use of stolen gems in the royal crown and other royal artifacts. Do you think they should be returned or not? Abso-fucking-lutely. I think the Queen should be returned to the ground. I hate the royal family. Just hate them. Bunch of inbred racist monsters. Fuck them all. So yeah, they should return all that shit. The Queen's jewels is estimated to be the #1 treasure in the world. The largest concentration of wealth is the Queen's jewels, and all that shit, all of it is stolen from indigenous people. Now I'm salivating again because I'm pissed. Seriously, fuck the Queen, fuck the royal family, fuck all of them. The British people should do away with them. And I'm against kings and queens and monarchs in general in the 21st century. How undemocratic, how unrepresentative of the people, how unrealistic for the world that we live in. Fuck all their shit. They gotta return all of it. They shouldn't exist. They should not be a burden on the British tax people the way that they are, or a burden on the world. And frankly, it's inflammatory to have that old daughter-killing bitch running around with a crown of stolen gems. Take that shit off her. Question 4 coming in from Tickle Monster Gal. I'm picturing somebody who's 45 and male and gross and hairy, I'm gonna call myself the Tickle Monster Gal. They're gonna think that I'm 15 and purty. Sorry, you might be a very reasonable, good-looking. I'm gonna stop. Just stop, Evan, just stop. Okay, Tickle Monster Gal says, what's an item you expected to do great on, but in reality you did horribly on? Sports cards. This is why I don't buy sports cards. I didn't grow up around sports. My sport was Taekwondo. Team sports, don't care. Don't like them, never have. Half that shit is fake anyway. I just never got into team sports. I'm an only child. My parents aren't into sports. We had no sports culture in my house. I don't understand it. I don't like it. Admittedly, I'm a little morbidly fascinated with the culture of the NFL in the same way that I'm fascinated by the Third Reich. It's just fucking terrible, and that's why it's interesting. But, so I bought, when I was going off my own, it was a bunch of sports cards. It was mostly baseball and football cards from the 80s. It was a big box, and I want to say I paid $400 or $500 for the box. Yeah, I think it was $5. And I got $50 on the box. I got burned so bad on it, and that was stay in your lane. Don't try to learn something you don't know anything about and have no interest in. Don't mess with that kind of stuff. Question 4 from Kevin Jones. Kevin asks, would you deal in scrimshaw or other whale bones if you had documentation they were purchased legally you can buy, sell? Yeah, so it's kind of like old guns. The cutoff is 1898 for old guns. I'd have to look into it. I think it's 1900 for old ivory, whalebone, scrimshaw. I gotta be careful with what I do because I got a million trolls, and that's something they would jump down my throat so hard on if I made a mistake. I don't buy ivory, I don't sell ivory, I don't sell whalebone, scrimshaw, none of that. I don't go near it because I don't want to get in trouble for it. And it's a stupid thing that it'd be one of those things where oh, this is cool, and I make a video about selling it, and I accidentally broke the law, and I get a $10,000 fine or something ridiculous. So no, not really. The other problem is that shit is actually museum worthy expensive, or it can be. The old man, you guys might remember one of the last episodes that I filmed with him when I used to work for him. He had it was a walrus tusk, and it had been fashioned into a cribbage board and carved out from Nome, Alaska, and it was dated from like 1901 or 2 or something like that. And it was beautiful, but it was one of those things that was thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's a very exotic, expensive item. I don't know if I could buy it for the right price. The average person bringing in something like that knows that it is a museum piece. And last question coming in from Mikel. I have a question. Is your goal to turn into a normal pawn shop in the future? Or are you gonna stay gold and self, etc.? Yeah, ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna keep this the way that it is. The fact is, if I become a pawn shop, I need a whole bunch of paperwork done. There's a lot of things that I need and a lot of practices I need to start doing that I'm not doing now because I don't have to, because it's a pain in the ass. One of them is every single fucking thing I buy, I have to register with police, and I have to wait 28 days, and I basically become a bank for poor people, because that's a bad way of putting it, but It's kind of what a pawn shop is. You gotta finagle interest on loans, you gotta buy anything, you gotta buy firearms. I don't wanna do any of that stuff. It's just way too much headache. My business structure, the way that it is now, it works out very well. Yes, I am Pawn Man, and I don't do pawn, and I realize there's a terrible irony to that. I also think it's kind of funny, and I don't care. Pawn Man was a great name. I'm glad I ran with it when I did, and I specifically don't have any interest in getting a firearm license. That I will probably never do, and that is a big part of a pawn store's business practice is firearms. So just for that, I don't want to do it. All right, guys, well, that'll about do it. If you guys like this video, be sure you give it a thumbs up. Put your questions in the comment section below so that I got more stuff to answer on the next Between the Pawn. Subscribe to me here on YouTube and all my other social media at Pawnman, at Evan Kale. Get my books on Amazon. Get my merch. Support me. Please become a Patreon, you guys. I could really use more financial support for this show. This show is very expensive to make, believe it or not. When I feature stuff, like next week, you guys, we're finally doing the Nazi collection. I'm talking all about medals and tokens of the Third Reich. The collection cost me $20,000 to assemble. And I started assembling it because I wanted to talk about it here on Pawn Man, but then I thought, oh, actually these are really undervalued. I should just buy all of them and see if I can make a lot of money, and then I got carried away. Nobody told me to do that, but still, every time I buy stuff for the show, you guys, I buy it for the show to educate you, and then I'm burdened with selling it. I usually can, but not always. So just know that your money, it doesn't go into my pocket. So just know $1 a month helps a lot. And you get to watch these videos early. My Patreon's got the most recent episode of Pawn Man on Sunday, and it came out on Thursday. Also, I do want to say thank you quickly to my editor, Keenan. He does a tremendous job. You guys have no idea how much footage I dump on him, how hard he works for me every week. He's been working for me for about a year now. So Keenan, thank you. All right, guys, I will catch you back here for another episode of Between the Pawn. Share my videos. Go on Facebook, be like, hey, watch Pawn Man. Later, guys. Oh, and fuck Putin. What an asshole. Fuck the Queen of England, but mostly fuck Putin. Bitch. Later.